guys, welcome to my channel. Thank you for joining me. If you're new, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below as well as the little bell so that you will get a notification every time I post a new video. If you are not new, then thank you once again for coming back for today's video. I want to just say thank you guys for all of your support throughout the process of growing my channel throughout the years. So I'm looking forward to a wonderful year of videos throughout 2018 and beyond. If you guys are new to my channel, thank you. I don't know how you guys found my channel. I don't know whether it was through Snapchat, Instagram, the search history of YouTube, word of mouth. However you may have found my channel, I want to say thank you for taking the time to click on my video. A lot of good information will be in the description bar. So of all of my videos, make sure you guys check that out. So as you guys could tell by the title of today's video, I'm going to talk to you about my Air Force experience so far to date, as well as what I wish I had known before I joined. So we have tea to talk about. I'm going to get real with you guys. I'm going to share my experiences. I'm going to share my thoughts. I'm going to share where I'm at in my life right now. The thirst is going to be real. I'm telling you guys, I get questions in my DM all the time on Instagram. So if you guys are anywhere near interested in this video, grab your drink. You guys know how I am about Popeyes, so I got my Popeyes drink here, and keep watching. Okay, all right guys, so starting off, I'm going to say that my experience so far has been a complete whirlwind. From being a civilian nurse to all of a sudden being a military nurse, that is a complete whirlwind. Like, you guys don't even understand. A lot of you guys ask me, hey, do you recommend me going into the military without any civilian nursing experience? My thought on that is no. I say that because I feel like you should have civilian nursing experience before coming in so you can have that unbiased thought process and you can know what it's like working as a civilian nurse before working as a military nurse. And so it's that has been a complete whirlwind for me, because I have those two sides in my brain, like, oh, I know what it's like on the outside, I know how things operated on the outside, versus, oh, now I'm in the military, so I need to let go of that civilian side and remember how things operate on the military side, versus someone who has never been a nurse on the outside before and they go straight into the military to be a nurse and they are groomed and that's all they know. So that's why it's been a whirlwind for me. And I would say that a lot of things that I thought about the military and what it was going to be like to be a nurse in the military, a lot of those things are different as far as like technology wise. And I've talked about this in some of my videos. So I'm going to use where I work at now, the base that I'm at, just because I can't speak on any other bases because I haven't been there yet. So when I go give meds to a patient, I don't chart at the bedside. I don't scan meds at the bedside. And you guys know that's part of the rights of medication administration. So it's been very hard for me to do this because I want to protect myself. I want to protect my nursing license. Like, a lot of things are so different. So I'll pull meds from the Pyxis in the med room, and I will verify patients with their patient identifiers, and then I will give them the medication. Like, I won't scan the medication at the bedside. I won't scan patient ID bands. Like, it's so different, you guys. It is so different. So leadership roles, like, you guys have heard me talk about leadership roles. So when you come into the military as an officer in the nurse corps, you're no longer just a nurse. You are an officer and a nurse. You're expected to be a leader and a nurse. So not only do you have patients to care for, but you have other responsibilities that also fall into place. So if you watch my Insta story, prime example, the other day I was NOD. So I was the house supervisor, almost like chief nurse, like charge nurse on steroids. That was something I had done before, but I had not operated in that role to 100% capacity. I had only done that before, probably like 40, 35, 40, maybe 50% capacity before. So I get to work and they're like, oh, hey, you're gonna be NOD tonight. Like full on NOD, like 100% NOD tonight. And the charge nurse from day shift was like, have you done that before? And I was like, yeah, but only like maybe 40, 50% capacity. Like, I don't know the AM paperwork. I don't know the AM report. I don't know who I need to email in the morning and send the reports off to. And he was like, oh, I can't believe they're making you do this and you haven't had formal training. So he literally gave me like a crash course before he left. And I was writing stuff down as he was talking. And then before he left, he was like, do you feel like you got it? I was like, yeah, I got it. I wrote everything down. And then bam, he left. Night shift, it was all up to me. I was carrying around my phone. If you guys watched my Insta story, I was like, hey, hit me on my next chirp. Like, I tried to make a joke out of it. And I was like, yo, where is the formal training? Like, you cannot just throw somebody into the frying pan and watch them dance around and hope that they make it. Because then if something went wrong, it's gonna fall back on you. There has been times that I have been extremely frustrated, you guys, and I'll talk to like my parents about it, and I'll talk to my best friends about it, like they know, and I'm not giving you guys like my jaded opinion or anything like that. I'm coming to you guys as real as can be, like straight 100 when I talk to you guys. I want to give you guys everything that there is to know, because there's not a lot of people that make videos, let alone about nursing, but let alone about being a nurse in the military, in the nurse corps as an officer. So that's what the purpose of my channel is. That's what the purpose of these videos are. The purpose of my vlogs are for you guys to see what like everyday life is like for me. So that's why I tell you guys these things. So that's why I say these are things that they don't tell you. They don't tell you the amount of responsibility you have when you come into the Air Force. You do not come in to just be a nurse, you guys. And I think some of you guys that watch my vlogs and watch my videos and send me messages and watch and look at my Instagram, you think that I'm only a nurse. And I'm not only a nurse, okay? I do way more than just nurse stuff. So not only do you have to manage your life in the military, and then I have to manage now my life outside of the military. So now I'm going back to school. So now I have like work-life balance that I have to deal with. So thankfully, actually, I'm on night shift and I'm perfectly fine with night shift. I actually am able to get a lot of my schoolwork done at night. If I have a patient and they're sleeping, I'll do some schoolwork. A lot of times, you guys know, I've talked about my ICU before, we don't have patients. So that's plenty of time right there on a 12-hour shift to get schoolwork done. Or like I said, if I'm NOD, I don't have a patient. I'm just kind of overseeing the hospital, and I'll take care of any situations that arise. So that's time for me to get my schoolwork done as well. So it's a lot of managing like work-life balance and things like that. So some other things that you need to know before coming in. If you decide to come into the Air Force just for student loan repayment, that is not going to be a quick and easy process. That's not going to be something that is going to be like a one and done. Like you sign the paper, you send the form, you send your packet, and boom, your student loans are going to be paid for in like 2 months. No ma'am, no sir. That is a lengthy process. That is a process that I am actually still working on. Even though I'm in grad school now, I'm still waiting for the student loans that I had from my undergrad baccalaureate degree to still be paid for. Still waiting in 2018. You're gonna wait. That's not gonna be like a super quick and easy process. So, for those of you that have asked me questions about joining the military and then in hopes to go back to nursing school, that's something that you can do, but that's also something that doesn't happen very easily for some people. So if you want to join the military and you join as an enlisted member, then yes, you do have the opportunity to go back to school, but you have to remember, when you're in the military and you're part of the military, you're government property, okay? And I hate to say it because it sounds horrible, but you are. And the needs of the military will come first. So that doesn't necessarily mean that just because you join as an enlisted member, you're gonna actually have the opportunity to go back to nursing school when you want to go. So that's also something that you have to keep in mind. Okay, so speaking back again on those leadership roles, second lieutenant, first lieutenant, and captain, those ranks pretty much are a given for you. By the time you try to go from captain to major, major to lieutenant colonel to colonel, so on and so forth, you will start going before boards, and then those boards are the ones that select you. Just like I talked about my process to get selected to begin with, your packet goes before a board. It's the same way to get those ranks. So your packet goes before a board. If the board does not select you, you don't get that rank. You get 2 attempts for your packet to be selected to get to that next rank. And if you're not selected for promotion, then you have to exit out of the military. They give you what you would get in the business world, like a severance package kind of thing. You guys need to keep that in mind. So once you actually get to about that captain level as a staff nurse, they do also start looking at higher leadership roles for you, and they'll move you kind of out of the clinical setting as like a staff nurse, and they'll start to move you more into office managerial type positions. So like right now, I'm second lieutenant, I'm on the unit, I'm a staff nurse. So by the time I get to captain, they might want to move me more into like maybe like a OIC role or just something more managerial, just depending on what's available. They won't really have you as necessarily a staff nurse on the floor. The more seniority you have and the higher rank you have, you won't be seen on the unit as much. You will start to move away from patient care and into more of those leadership roles. So that's another thing that you have to take into consideration. That's another thing that you have to remember. That's something that your recruiter, your healthcare professions recruiter, will not tell you, okay? They won't tell you that. This is not a bash at recruiters. It's not anything like that. I'm just saying these are things that I did not know until I got in and really got my feet wet and have really gotten to the swing of things and really figured out how my unit works and have started talking to my coworkers and things like that. These are things that I'm really starting to grasp and be able to understand. And I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't know that before, but I know it now. And a lot of these things I'm like, my decision to join, I wonder if it would have still been the same, and would I have been as adamant if I had have known these things to begin with? Those are questions I've asked myself before. So I just wanted to share that with you. So like I said, I just wanted to kind of sit down and give you guys like a life update since I've been on station. A lot of things that are still the same as far as being a nurse, like, you know, inclement weather. A lot of times if you can't leave, then guess what? You're stuck. I mean, that kind of thing. Some of those things as far as like civilian military nursing, some of those things are the same. I do have, of course, a more in-depth detail, and I'll leave it in the cards section as far as the differences between military and civilian nursing that comes down to like shift differential and things of that nature. This is more of just a like a life update type video. Okay, so personally for myself, the base that I'm at, I would not have put it at the top of my list if I had have known. I would not have had the limited amount of patient interaction as I've had. Yes, it comes in handy from the school aspect, but it does not come in handy from the nursing aspect. I'm a nurse. I want patient interaction for those clinical skills, for those to be fine-tuned and held on to. I can't just not have that type of interaction. Like, that's not okay. Like, so a lot of things you have to take into consideration even when you're putting your bases down. Like, something that I didn't do that I found out another coworker is doing, which is really smart, that I'm going to do when it's time for me to go on to a different base. She has been calling around, speaking to the nurses at the other bases that she wrote on her list, just trying to get a general idea. Hey, what's the patient census like? What's your patient population? You know, how often do you guys work? Just tell me a little something about your unit. What can I expect? And that's how she was able to formulate her top 3 choices. And I was like, you know what? That's really smart. I didn't think to do anything like that when I was on the civilian side, and my recruiter was like, hey, write your choices down for your base selections, because I didn't even know that was something that I could do. But now that I'm in, when it's time for me to know that I'm going to move on to a different base, I'm definitely going to do that. And you guys can do that, okay? So that's a choice. Like, you guys have that choice. You have that right to know a little something about the base that you're going to, just to give yourself a heads up. Just like you want to look around at the state that you're going to move to, the city that you're going to move to, try to figure out something about the base that you're going to go to. Overall, like I said, it's just been a huge adjustment. If you can adjust to just the whirlwind and the culture of military, learning how to wear the uniform, learning the AFI, what you can and cannot do, once you get that basic fundamental foundation, everything will be okay. And once you learn like rank and just those basic things, which is what the purpose of officer training school is for, or COT, commissioned officer training, whatever you want to call it. Once you get through that, that's the purpose of that training, is to kind of help you so you don't show up on your base the first day looking a hot mess. That's what that's for. Once you kind of establish your own footing, things will kind of smooth its way out. And I think that's what I was going through, was a lot of growing pains just within myself, within my unit. We had a lot of things going on that happened way before I even got there with other people. So just, you had a lot of growing pains there, and you had new people coming in, and you had people leaving. So it was a lot that was going on at first. But you guys know my motto: you have to grow where you're planted, and just, you know, take the good with the bad. And I just try to sprinkle a little bit of glitter everywhere I go. You guys know I have a positive attitude, and that's just really what I'm trying to do with this portion of my life that I'm in. And I honestly have to say, my views have changed a little bit about my career path and my military path. Is this something that I'm going to make a career out of and spend 20 plus years in? Honestly, now I don't know. When I first joined, my answer was a resounding yes. Can I say that with a full resounding yes now? I honestly can say no, I'm not really sure at this moment. But am I still very proud and very thankful for this opportunity? Yes. Am I still very thankful and glad that I'm here doing what I'm doing? Absolutely. So like I said, that's basically what this video is all about. I just wanted to sit down and talk to you guys, give you a little update. And so yeah, I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Leave your questions, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Find me on Instagram. You can send messages in the DM, of course, as always. And once again, I love you guys, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.